future of Cristiano Ronaldo after that story broke on Friday, saying that he wants to leave. According to Tutu Sport, he's going to Manchester United. 210 euros De Gea and Morata, 210 million, sorry. 175 million, says the Mirror. Get me back to United, meanwhile, says the back page of the Sun. Shaka, when we start next season, where is Cristiano Ronaldo going to be?
Real Madrid. I don't think Cristiano Ronaldo moves. I think this is all to do with the situation, all to do with getting Real Madrid to defend him more sternly than maybe he believes they have. I just don't see Cristiano Ronaldo moving.
Now, here's the thing. It's been 72 hours since we were talking about that story on Friday. We've had no official statement from either party, which suggests, doesn't it, that something is going on here, that there is actually some truth to this rumour, because otherwise it's simple. Ronaldo comes out or Real Madrid come out, but neither have, which suggests that this might actually go deeper than we first thought.
I think you're looking way too deep into this, Dan.
I don't think... Honestly,
no news means all the news.
I don't think I am.
You really expect just everybody to be talking and coming out with stuff,
In this instance,
absolutely
because
not.
it's so easy to do. If it was nonsense, why didn't Real Madrid come out and say it, or why didn't Ronaldo do it?
Listen, had it not been Manchester United, this transfer talk, then I might have thought about it. There is no way. Why would Cristiano Ronaldo want anything else to do with Jose Mourinho? The first time round at Real Madrid, they didn't see eye to eye. So why is he going to up sticks? Go back to Man United, put himself under more pressure, because United clearly aren't anywhere near Real Madrid, and also go back with Mourinho. It makes no sense to me at all.
What about some of this money that's been mentioned? 175 million plus De Gea. Is Ronaldo, is he worth that?
Absolutely.
He is as a 32-year-old.
Yes, Ronaldo's one of two players on this earth that would command that. And you look at Lionel Messi and Cristiano Ronaldo, anywhere he goes, he'd be worth upwards of that. De Gea is icing on you know.
But how long? Do you agree?
Well, listen, I agree because he would end up bringing the money back in short sales. So you know, that's the end of that story. Yeah. The fact is, Real Madrid won the Champions League because of Ronaldo. So you can't deny that. That means he is one of the two best players on the planet, even at 32. Is he in a little decline? Yes, he is. But we're talking his decline. We're not talking normal footballers here. We're talking a superstar.
Why would he want to leave on that team with Real Madrid? If he stays there, if they keep that team intact, he's got another 2-3 years where he can be considered the best player on earth over and over and over again. Those are just more awards.
Because he's upset about this whole tax situation, doesn't he?
It's just attention. That's all it is.
But attention for what reason?
Because it's Cristiano.
No, but it's not like you need a new contract. You just signed a new one in November. You got a 5-year deal. Apparently there was a phone call
wants them to
with Zinedine
him.
Zidane. Zidane rang him up, if you believe reports, saying stay. He said, no, I want to go.
I'm with the boys on this one. I don't see how or why he moves, even at that ridiculous sum. And no, it just doesn't add up.
How interesting would it be, right, Ian? How interesting would it be for Ronaldo, for De Gea swap, and how will it impact the Premier League?
A Ronaldo-De Gea swap. Wow, that would be something, wouldn't it? Well, De Gea seems to be in every conversation there ever is between Real Madrid and Manchester United. It seems like he's going to be dragged into the Morata talk, so maybe United don't want that to happen. They're saying no deal on that. Well, I guess in some theoretical parallel universe where that came to be, probably De Gea would be part of the conversation, yeah.
Shaq, you know about these things. Could Ronaldo play in goal?
Not particularly well, I would think. I would think Mourinho has other plans. But let's be honest, it won't be a street swap. There'll be cash involved.
Yeah.
How does it impact the...
I wouldn't bother getting De Gea if I was in Madrid.
No?
No. Mbappe has got to be a priority. I love that boy.
And you wouldn't go after De Gea?
No, I'd get Mbappe and I'd get Donnarumma. There's your future.
Okay.
Don't you think?
I guess. I think...
Does Cristiano Ronaldo, guys, does Cristiano Ronaldo really want to leave?
No, I don't think so.
I don't.
Does he really? I mean,
but it's a long summer otherwise.
You're looking to do the treble, the Champions League.
It's a long summer. I don't think he's leaving.
It's not even a contract. He signed a new contract in November.
Yes. Or in all honesty, I don't think he's going anywhere.
Right.
But if you could get Mbappe and De Gea or Donnarumma for Ronaldo, I think he'd take that all day long.
Oh. Today we saw Russia with that 2-0 victory over New Zealand. What do you make of this game, Hurt?
It was a strange game. I mean, Mexico dominated possession. Portugal didn't even look very interested. They had a few instances where they got to the Mexican opposition, counterattacked a couple times, and they ended up scoring twice. But Mexico clearly dominating possession, but weren't very good actually in front of goal. I think the tie was just. 2-2 was probably the just result, yes.
You agree?
It was a correct result, but I thought it was going to be a classic Portugal win again. You know, the way they won the Euros is exactly how they played in this game.
By the way, Portugal very underwhelming. A team of that kind, they just won the Euros, and to come in against a team like Mexico and put on that type of performance, very underwhelming.
They couldn't string two passes together. It was incredible.
Portugal didn't exactly light up the Euros. They almost won by default.
Yeah, but this is a team that, without Cristiano, beat France, mind you. You expected a lot more of this team. They looked very disinterested at times, very roots one. Mexico clearly dominated possession. 2-2 the just result, but it could have easily gone Portugal's way at the end.
In the trophy cabinet, and a Europa League Cup as well, which gives entry to the Champions League. I suppose that's a pretty good season for Mourinho and Manchester United. That was then, this is now. What's a good season over the next 12 months for him?
If you're Manchester United and you think of yourself as one of the top clubs in the world, and you're spending the sort of money that you are going to spend in this transfer window and what you did in last summer's transfer window, and you have Jose Mourinho and you have big-name players, the objective has to be winning the Premier League. It has to be. And it's going to take a big jump, because you don't go from 6th to 1st, because there's a lot of teams in front of you that they are going to improve as well. Manchester United, their realistic goal should be top 4. What they're going to go after is the title, and that in itself should be the bigger picture goal for Manchester United.
Do you think United can have success in the Premier League and the Champions League less than 12 months after finishing 6th? Will he need a bigger squad to do that?
They have resources, right? I mean, we're not talking about a team that doesn't have players, that doesn't have talent, that doesn't have a coach that hasn't been around Champions League and the Premier League and has been successful at both. They have all of those things. This idea that they need a bigger squad, that they need this, that they need that, they need performances. And you bring in players, whoever they may be, those players have to perform at a high level as well. I just don't get the idea that because you win Europa League, that you have salvaged what was an otherwise mediocre season by the standards of Manchester United. And those are the standards that they have set for themselves because of the success they've had in the past. If they don't want to achieve those things, if they don't want to shoot for those things, then that's on them. But I think the objectives for Manchester United should be much higher than just, let me get a trophy here and a trophy there, and beg and justify that a Community Shield is a trophy worth talking about.
I want you to have a look at this quote from Mourinho. Now, we've paraphrased this quote. He was basically in this saying that when he arrives at clubs, they need help, and he's able to turn them around. It didn't happen from the second time around at Chelsea. I'm just not sure. I mean, it's self-justification here. I'm not sure why he needs to do that, because he's a 54-year-old with a fantastic track record at the clubs he's been at. So why does he need to come out with things like this to justify that he's won 24 major trophies? Does he feel that for some reason that there might be a perception that he was a failure in his first season because he finished 6th? Why has he said this?
I don't know. You have to ask Jose Mourinho. But when you ask me, all I have to give you is I saw a team that at times was unwatchable. At times it was so very difficult to watch Manchester United because they provided nothing. They salvaged the season with Europa League, and then everything is great. Jose Mourinho doesn't care in his mind, or at least that's the way he portrays himself, on what everybody else says. But anytime that he comes out and justifies, as you just said, what his position is, what his situation is with the United, what his reality is, it gives us an idea that perhaps he does care about whatever the perception is outside. And he shouldn't. He has won everything there is to win. But I think he knows he under-delivered, and that the club and the team and the players under-deliver in that first season. They found a backdoor entrance into Champions League, and that salvage the season, as we just mentioned. But I just don't know why Mourinho feels like he has to go out and defend himself every time that there's an opportunity to do so.
He wasn't the only one that underdelivered. Wenger, Pep Guardiola. I mean, there's only one that can win the title. Just finally, I want to talk about legacy for Mourinho. If he retires today, which he ain't going to do, his legacy at Manchester United and his career is not going to be affected. If he stays a few years, could that impact on his legacy, both positively or negatively?
Of course. It would as a player as well. If you did very well with other teams and then show up and have a stinker, then people are going to remember that as well. Now, for the length of his career, he has been very successful. However, just the same way that Pep Guardiola gets criticized and thought of at times like, well, he's only a good coach because he's had good players at Barcelona and at Bayern Munich and he's struggling at Manchester City or whatever the case may be. Well, the same questions are going to be brought up about Jose Mourinho, and it is fair game. If you put yourself in a stage in which you're going to dance, people are going to criticize your dancing skills. It is the same thing with Jose Mourinho. You want to be at the forefront, you want to be in front of the camera, you want people to listen to you, well, when you do well, people are going to admire, but when you don't, people are going to take shots at you as well.
Here's a curveball to end with. You're allowed one manager for your team, the Venezuelan national team, okay, out of the top 6 from last year. Do you pick Mourinho or do you go elsewhere?
I go elsewhere.
Where do you go?
Jurgen Klopp.
There you go. Jose Mourinho.
You didn't like that choice? Okay.
No problem. It's not. I need someone for the Scottish national team, not
right.
the Venezuelan national team. A legacy will be affected by what he does at Manchester United, according to Ali Moreno.
Upon us, and so is another funny edition of The Sweeper. If you're not partaking in the Mayweather challenge, then you've either been living under a rock or you just don't have anything expensive and flashy to post. Well, we all can't be Floyd Mayweather Jr., but leave it to Mario Balotelli to one-up the boxing star by showing off the one possession even Floyd's money can't buy.
Now, Floyd, seriously, you have this in your house.
Elsewhere, the Confederations Cup officially kicks off tomorrow, and we are excited. Can't you tell? However, not nearly as excited as the people of Kazan, Russia, who have a very subtle way of showing who they can't wait to see. Cristiano Ronaldo. A wall mural. Yup, that's one way to get the big man's attention. And now it's time for our favorite time of the day, where we check in on Patrice Evra, and you guessed it, he's still living and loving life and hanging out in the middle of a desert. Look, he's even made a new friend, Griffin the Falcon. Can't blame you, Griffin. We want Patrice to be our best friend too. Finally, Southampton are doing the most to unveil their new kits by creating a series of superhero-themed cartoons. It even features the club's favorite frenemy, Liverpool, as possible villains. Well, if the football thing doesn't work out, it's clear the Saints could very well be a hit in the superhero cartoon world. To be continued indeed. That's going to do it for now. Enjoy the weekend and keep up to date with all the action.
Potential exit from the Principality. That would be Fabinho, with Manchester United mooted as his eventual destination.
Yeah, so this is a bit of a funny one, because certainly the information coming from Monaco was that, you know, they would let Bernardo Silva go, they'll probably let Mendy go, and obviously Bakayoko. Fabinho is a guy they as a club wanted to hang on to. Equally, Fabinho's people, and who have close ties to the Manchester United manager, of course, you know, they view things a little bit differently. They've been pushing him quite aggressively last summer, at Christmas, or in the January transfer window, I should say. I've been led to believe that, you know, United had other priorities, other top targets in that defensive midfield position. Among them, of course, Eric Dyer. But Fabinho, they view as an alternative. And if they can't get Dyer, you're not going to be held to ransom by Dyer or anybody else. Then Fabinho is somebody that they rate, that they like his versatility. He can also play fullback, of course. They like his tactical intelligence, and they think they could get him at a reasonable price.
Well, with Antoine Griezmann's
move to Manchester United. A no-go, of course. We have to get to this story now. Alvaro Morata to Manchester United. Shaka Hislop is here with me on this one. Shaka, Morata's agent has come out and said that he has indeed seen an official offer from Manchester United, but they're still waiting on Real Madrid to take it. But they are all that